is here! In the freaking building! I almost didn't make it. I had to walk down that aisle over there. My fat butt was knocking over chairs. It ain't easy being me, I'm telling you that right now. I'm pissed. Wearing all black because it's so slenderizing. Whatever that was, don't do it again. I'm wearing all, I don't know, the pants came on Walmart, one of them, I don't care. If I wore nicer pants, would I be getting laid tonight? I don't think so. For me, getting lucky is, hey, $1. Getting really lucky, be finding some ass to pick it up for me. I don't care. I said Walmart. By the way, I lied. This came out of the big and tall shops. You know the big and tall. By the way, that is such... I'm shopping there for 20 years. I haven't seen a tall guy in there yet. It's always giant butterballs like me bumping into each other, fighting over the last pair of 70s sweatpants. I came here from Brooklyn. Yeah, I heard, yeah, don't give me woo. If you know Brooklyn, then you know that the mere thought of coming from Brooklyn is... Brooklyn, New York. I had to come through Staten Island and New Jersey to get... Now, first of all, I live right next to the Verrazano Bridge. Security, have this man removed. He said, where's that? The Verrazano Bridge is a bridge between Brooklyn and Staten Island. 2 minutes from my house. It cost me $15 to get into Staten Island. Have you ever been in Staten Island? Yeah, I'd pay anything to get out of Staten Island.
Well, it's free.
$15 to get into Staten Island. I can get into Mexico for free. And if I find the right woman, I can get laid and get her to wax my car for $15. And then I finally get into Jersey and I get pulled over by one of the Jersey troopers. You know, the Jersey State Trooper. And he knew I was from Brooklyn. He could tell by my accent. So right away he starts in. He goes, you have any drugs in the trunk? And here's where I made a mistake. I said, why? What do you need? Was that wrong? I can't believe what it's like out here. It's so it's like green and rural and country, and I'm not used to it. I mean, it's not country like Nebraska. I mean, you know Nebraska. That's where men are men and sheep are nervous. You know. I do the funny stuff here, mister. It hasn't started yet, but it might. Oh, man. So, first of all, I'm not in a great mood anyway. Tonight, it's a Saturday night, and here I am in Readers, Pennsylvania. You're very nice people. You're very nice people. But tonight is my anniversary. Thank you very much. Thank you. Of course, it's not my wedding anniversary. It's been 30 days since I won my battle against anorexia. This microphone is possessed. So, and the other reason I'm not in a great mood, for the last 6 months, let's say 6 months, there's a really beautiful woman, a very pretty woman that I've been, how should I put this, seeing. But she ended it yesterday. She put up drapes. when they do that. And no, I really was in a relationship, and with a woman this time. Don't give me that look. I got tired of the blow-up dolls. You know, after a couple of years, you get tired of looking at. So she came up with an interesting idea. She wanted me to do it doggy style. Oh yeah, baby. Doggy style. Now I'm not that young. And I'm kind of, I know. But I'm a red-blooded American male. Doggy style. Doggy style. Let me tell you people what I do if a woman suggests doggy style. I lick myself and hump her lip. That was just a joke. It was just a silly little joke. As a matter of fact, when she brought up that doggy thing, I was solidly behind her. Another joke. The problem is, you see, her body, if she's naked in front of me and bent over, you see, she is not a thin. When it comes to food, exercise isn't something you can't. It's the blubber that you can't. If I was to be looking at her bent right now, you don't even want to. The last time that my eyes were, I tried to grab, let me describe her ass. Now, I have to make you guys see this thing. So come along with me in this little journey, all right? To start off with, I would like everyone in this room to picture my ass. Wow. Yeah, I know. I don't know. You look a little too excited, mister. All right, you picturing my ass? All right, remember, we still got to get to hers, so you're going to have to make it much larger and hairier. With a rash. And then somehow she managed to slap a tattoo on that thing. And not one of those cute little tattoos like you see at the beach, like you might have. No, she didn't have one of those cute little tattoos. She had a giant tattoo. If you can picture this, a solid red heart covering the entire butt. Are you with me? Solid red heart. Across the top it said, "Now and forever." My name was on the left cheek and her name was on the right cheek. Sounds kind of romantic, right? Yeah, whenever she bent over, it looked like we were breaking up. And actually we did, well, she broke up with me. And she didn't even do it in person. She sent me one of those letters, you know, like through the post office when they don't want to see you anymore, the restraining order. So I'm gonna tell you a little something about me, a little personal information. I got married when I was in the Army. Now this is many years ago. I'm older than I look, perhaps. This goes back to the Vietnam years, when guys used to run away to Canada to avoid the draft. Of course, that's a long time ago. Today we have a name for those guys. We call them Canadians. But when I got my draft notice, I immediately started getting into shape. I ran 20 miles a day for over a month. I was this close to the Canadian border when they caught me. I mean, I could smell that weird thick bacon it is. I was this close. So they grabbed me and 300 other slow runners, you know, volunteers. They bring us to a building in Manhattan, an old building. It said U.S. Army, whatever, in the front. And then inside this huge room was like a marble bench surrounding the room. A cold marble bench. I'll tell you how I know it was cold in a second. We're standing in front of the marble bench, all 300 of us, naked. Don't get excited. That's because we're on our way into our physical. We're all naked. A guy comes in and tells us to sit down. Now, 300 sweaty, actually 600 sweaty cheeks. 600 sweaty cheeks hitting the marble bench at the same time. It sounded like an audience applauding. So eventually the guy tells us to get up, stand in line, and start walking towards the physical. So we do, and I learned something that day. If you're in a single file line with a whole bunch of naked guys, very important not to walk faster than the guy in front of you. Or stop short. So eventually I get into the doctor's office, he starts examining me, and he's putting the things on me, and my blood pressure. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, he goes, you know, you're going to have to stop masturbating. I said, doctor, what does that have to do with me getting into the Army? He said, nothing, but I'm trying to examine you. It's distracting. So eventually, after basic training, they sent me and a bunch of us to an island in the Pacific where they promised there'd be 3 women for every guy. Sounds pretty good, huh? Yeah, it turns out it was the same 3 women. And that's how I met my wife. So I'm going to tell you something I learned about women. Women sometimes say no to sex. I know, I was surprised too. And here's the amazing thing. It even happens to me. Obviously, these women are lesbians. But here's the thing, they won't use the word no. They come up with this, it's like a code. And you're the guy, you've got to figure out the code. You've got to figure out what they're trying to say is, I'd rather not have sex. I'm going to give you an example. 3 weeks ago, I'm going to give you word for word what this woman said. Keep in mind, what she's trying to say is she'd rather not have sex. Here it is, word for word, what this woman said. That's him, officer. The fat guy in the pink thong. I know, because, wait a minute, are you ladies picturing me right now in a pink thong? I knew it. All the women in this audience and one guy at that table is picturing me in a pink thong. I was pretty sure. And by the way, ladies, don't be embarrassed. You're entitled to your little fantasies. It's okay. But let me just say this. Thank you. If I was on this stage right now, wearing absolutely nothing but a pink thong, You still couldn't see the pink thong. I got a problem, man. And by the way, a second ago when I said you're entitled to little fantasies, I know that you ladies aren't fantasizing about me. I have no illusions about that. There's no woman in this audience that's fantasizing about me like on a white stallion with no shirt on, galloping towards her. Hairy man breasts bobbing up and down. Stomach hitting me in the face. I know that. See, here's the thing. Women are made out of sugar and spice and everything nice. And I'm made out of cholesterol, disappointment, and sperm. I'm going to tell you how I learned so much about women, because it's a cute little thing. I did something a lot of you guys would never even consider doing. I went out and rented every chick flick I could think of. That's right, mister. Chick flicks. I want to know how women think. Because if I learn how women think, then maybe I can... Women like chick flicks. I rented them all, the classics. I started with the first movie I watched, Fried Green Tomatoes. And I stayed up for days. And eventually I got to Steel Magnolias. It's amazing movies like that could make me whack off, and yet whack off joke. I love doing this. This is like the greatest job in the world. Making people, whatever you do for a living, and I'm sure this is a great job. It doesn't pay a lot. That's why during the week I have a Monday, like a Monday to Thursday kind of, and I just got a promotion. Can I tell you guys? Yeah. Thank you. I am now the chief inspector at a major tampon factory. Wasn't an easy job to get. I had to pull a lot of strings. Kill me. You guys are such a great audience. I love you guys. Last week I had an audience that was, these people were old. I mean, I'm old. These people were twice, I don't know how they even got them into the room. That's how old these people were. They look like a bunch of crypt keepers from that chick, you know. I mean, it said for mature audiences only, but this was ridiculous. These people were old. And there was a guy in the front, like right where you're sitting, so this guy was, during my act, the guy that was sitting right over there went to the bathroom 4 times. Never left his seat, went to the bathroom 4 times. 2 of each, 4 times. I'm going to tell you, can I talk to you guys about condoms for a second here? When I was a kid, there was 2 condoms. You could either buy a Trojan or Ramses. They don't even make Ramses anymore. And each one of these companies only made one condom Because condoms only do one. But today you go to a drugstore and the young kids got to have everything. Everything's designer. You go to a drugstore, they got a wall full of. They got colors in condoms. Colors. What do you need colors for? That doesn't make any sense. I figured. You know why? It's for a guy like this guy over here with the hat. By the way, this guy over here with the hat is a cool dude. He's got the hat and he's got the little goatee thing going on. He is a cool, but he's been looking up at me since the show started like this. Like, come on, fat boy, make me laugh. But the condoms and colors are because of guys like him, because he likes to wear his socks to bed. Now he can have an ensemble. How about the glow-in-the-dark condom? Everybody knows about the glow-in-the-dark condom. But I'm going to tell you how you use the glow-in-the-dark condom. Guys, you leave work. You pick up the glow-in-the-dark condom. Thank you. You pick up a glow-in-the-dark condom. You get to your house. You take off all your clothes. You turn off all the lights. You put on the glow-in-the-dark condom. You're standing there, nude, in the dark, nothing on but a glow-in-the-dark condom. You know what you got, guys? You got a little lightsaber thing going. Luke, I am your father. What? And if a woman should show up, if you're naked and she's naked and all you got on is a glow-in-the-dark condom and the lights are off, if somebody should be peeking through the window, what will he see? He will see the glow-in-the-dark condom and then not see the glow-in-the-dark condom. Now I'm going to be leaving you guys, but before I do, I'm going to tell you, thank you, I appreciate that. I'm going to tell you guys a little romantic story. This goes back about, I would say about 15, 20 years ago. Things were different for me then. I was about 200 pounds thinner. I had hair. I could see my dick. Things were different for me then. I heard a woman go, oh. I was dating a woman that was into that Victoria's Secret stuff. We familiar with Victoria's Secret? When I was a kid, it was Frederick's. Familiar with it? I'll bet you're wearing it right now. So she was into this Victoria's Secret stuff. And by the way, ladies, if you don't know this, I'm going to tell you this right now. Every guy in this room is just like me. We love the Victoria's Secret stuff. The stockings, the garters, the corsets. Every guy, we love that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know you're just like me, right, mister? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, the corsets pinch us a little bit on the sides. He knows. But it's worth it because it lifts and separates. So she's into this. She goes out on my birthday and she buys a pair of the, oh God, look at these, I'm going to tell you, but look at the innocent face. Look at these ladies' face. Oh my God. She goes out and she buys, I'm sorry, lady, I'm sorry. She buys a pair of the panties. The panties where they cut out the area. It's all open and the vaginal crotch hole. What are they called? What are those panties called? Oh, crotchless? Oh, she knew they were called crotchless. She's right, they are called. I prefer to call them Easy Pass, it's just me, but they are called. By the way, wouldn't they be cold in the wintertime? With that whole area being out there, exposed to the cold air? I mean, I've never seen a vagina go but all right, so she goes out and she buys a pair of the crotchless panties. She invites me over her house. I get to her house. All she's wearing are the crotchless panties. I'm so sorry. And she's sitting in a chair. And her legs are wait! They're not just a little. And she's pointing at the area of the. She's pointing right there. Remember that? So she's pointing there, and she's pointing, and she looks right at me, and she goes, "So, big boy, you want some of this?" So I said, "No way, look what it did to your panties." So hard for you guys. I'm bringing Rick back up to the stage.